Good morning. It's 9 o'clock on a Wednesday morning, and here I am live for Norma Talks. I had an interesting morning yesterday morning. On Monday night, during mental mind treatment, somebody asked about their health. And during the mental mind treatment, it came up that they needed perhaps to look back at a situation in their lives. And so I got thinking, and some of you may know this, that I have been having some health challenges in the last couple of months. And so I thought, I think I might take that. And so what happened was I sat down yesterday morning and said, okay, I want to kind of see what the root is of all this. Now I'm just going to go a little sidestep here for a minute. One of the things that I've really worked on with my transformation clients when it's showing they're ready to go there is to look at contracts that they've made over time, vows, oaths, and also the Akashic records. But the vows and the oaths in particular are very often that we do things in our lives where we have oaths to declare ourselves, or we make vows or silence, etc. And very often those things are extremely important in the whole picture of whatever it is that you're blocked in relation to your life. So anyway, I'm sitting there, excuse me, I have to cough again. And as I sat there, and I sort of put myself into a very light um, meditative state. It was really quite light, but I'm used to doing this because I do it a lot for clients. What I saw was I was here, and to my left, there was a long string of lives. But also to my right, there was a much shorter string of lives that I've had in the future. Now, very often we think of that future lives mean that there's something that's going to be coming. But actually, we can have future lives and then another one in another time. Like time is not the same in the, you might say, the rhythm of Earth. And I looked at this long line and I thought to myself, what am I supposed to do with this? I know people have told me I've been around a long time. I'm a slow learner, I guess. But anyway, I began to realize that because I'm a great believer in integration, and as I go along with the transformation. So I began to work at pulling these lives, and then I concentrated more on the ones on the past, of having them integrate with me in the present. Now, that didn't happen like that. It took a while. In fact, it took a couple of different times going back and recognizing, okay, we got to bring those in. And then also looking to the right, where the lives that I had in the future were also brought in. So there was a kind of an integration that began to happen. Doesn't seem to have changed my throat at all in the mornings, but anyway, we we'll endure here. So what began to happen, I began to I wrote some things down because I was really like intrigued. Not only for myself, I began to feel more solid, is a word I could use, more here, more present than perhaps I had been feeling. And one of the things that came to me was this: we are a product of all lives, our contracts with self and others, with oaths that we have made, with vows we believed in, and then what is written in the Akashic records. We are product of what came before or from the future. So it's like this combination. We are an epitome, therefore we can forgive what has been before or ahead. And then I wrote, all time is one, be free, forgive. Now, for those that have listened to me over time, you will know I'm extremely big on self-forgiveness. I find that many of our issues that we have is because we haven't forgiven ourselves. Over time, I came to learn that more and more and more, and really work to forgive what I feel I need to forgive. Because, man, if anybody can put their mouth in their foot, that's me, the foot in the mouth thing. I'm, over the years, unthinkingly have said things, done things, get upset about things. I think just like a lot of us do. And I had to learn how to forgive myself for not being perfect in my own eyes. Never mind the eyes of others. That's what they have to contend with. But eyes of myself, how I saw myself, what I visualized myself. And when I saw this long string of lives, and some men, some women, some soldiers, some just housewives or mothers, it was like it's like a drawing, actually. If I was an artist, I could have easily drawn it, all the shadows of what was there. And the future, even though there wasn't a lot of them, the future lives, I know, and I've had some. And so it was interesting to see them all and to see what a product in this time space of access of knowledge and awareness I've had, and how that has all come together. Also, because of the work that I was led to do, we don't always consider the oaths, the vows, the contracts that we have done in other times, and how the effect they can have on our lives, the effects of where we maybe get stuck. And and just recently, mainly because of a piece of work I did with myself, when again I got sort of aware that, oh, I could look at this, and began to realize that sometimes when I have just looked at one maybe oath or one vow, I'm now asking how many are there here. And I'm getting incredible numbers sometimes, incredible numbers. And we're able to put them together and clear them as one. It's had to take a little different viewpoint, had to take a little different way of looking at things, of how that could work. But we are a product in our time of our belief system of many, many lives. Now we talk about the subconscious, and I'm going to go there. Where is all this held? Is in our subconscious. And sometimes when I go down, I feel like I'm looking at little pockets of information that we don't want to look at. We don't want to deal with that. We don't want to have that. But it creates a habit, or it creates a sense of who we are. Now, one of the things I always caution my clients with is habits. And of course, we all forget about those. I mean, what are those? And that is what is in us that we do without thinking. Those are our habits. And they're ingrained and sometimes in our muscle memory of our response. I know sometimes I've responded and I've gone, oh, that's not what I want. So I know how to shift and change my own in the moment. But it's like knowing that we have habits, that even though we've cleared a lot, there's still a habitual response we may do, but there's nothing to back it. When we haven't changed, when we haven't transformed those beliefs, attitudes, and systems that we have, then what ends up happening when we haven't done that, it's like we're all in, so to speak. But when we've done transformation, when we've cleared, when we've let go of a multitude of, as I'm going to say, beliefs, attitudes, because of oaths and contracts and vows that we've done, when we respond, it's more of a habit, but it's easily shifted and changed. It's easy to stop it, breathe, maybe apologize sometimes, or at least for yourself, say, okay, we don't need to do that anymore. There's no need for that response. And that's what we call growth. I find many people have done a lot of growth when they come to see me. But it's like that, going to those deeper levels, going into, and I don't know, that's what I do because I was shown it. I was brought to it. All my life, I was led, I was taught, I was trained, you might say, to be this way or that way or another way. And I often have talked about how for years I would wake up in the night to a person standing in front of me talking to me, lecturing, basically. I was in school. And all those years, I was, a young mother. I was working. I was trying to educate myself. All these things going on. And here I am at night having a whole series of different lessons. I would be waking up sometimes to having a voice in my head tell me that I just passed another kind of level and I haven't a clue what was going on. But over time, a lot of that information began to come through in a whole different way. Showed up in my psychic readings, I was doing it. And then the learning began to happen more in a transformational way. Started with past life regressions. It started going into belief systems and changing them. That was the beginning of realizing things can be transformed. It was just the beginning, tip of the iceberg, but it still was helpful. And then things were beginning to me. A thought would come into my head. Oh, do this. So I would do this, or I'd do that. Now that brings up to the whole adventure that we're not alone here, that there's an energy that is there for you to utilize, to work with. A lot of it I find is about asking. Do you ask? Do you ask what it is that you want? What do you want to know? What do you want to understand? Some people are very good at it. I wasn't always that good because I didn't always like the answers. But as time went on, I began to find, okay, I've asked for this. This is what's come, and it's for my highest and best, even if it isn't exactly what I want. Even though it doesn't look exactly how I want, it is still for my highest and best. Learning isn't always easy. Becoming aware of your patterns isn't always easy. But you know what I find really interesting for my clients that come in for transformation work is they never argue with me. They say, oh, yeah, I know how I do that. Yeah, oh, yeah, I understand that. And that is one of the beauties, could we say? One of the phenomenal elements that happen is the knowingness that we know. At some level, we know. But often it's like a maze. How do we get out of this maze? And the key is to be able to find people, just like myself, and there's many of us out there, that have ways of being able to go deeper and be able to clear and transform those beliefs, those attitudes, those contracts, those vows, those oaths, and lift things off the Akashic record so that it gives you more space to be who you truly are in this life. You truly want to create, what you truly want to do, where you want to go, how you want to get there. It's been when you look at the years that I've put in, and even now in this last few weeks, already finding another level that I didn't know existed. Instead of looking at one vow the other day, we looked at 5 vows. Now, it didn't mean that but as I can put them together and work at transforming them. But before, I wasn't looking for more. And I was lucky because I was trying to figure out something that was going on with me. And it just showed me that there was more than just one. There was more. And I've done that ever since with my clients. And I'm going, oh my goodness. So I had to get over the guilt of not being able to do that from the many clients I've had before. But if any of my previous clients, they want to come, that we can look at what the more was, if there hasn't been all the shifts you want. Fascinating lives we have, fascinating, learning, growing, becoming more of who we truly are, moving in space and time, seeing the awareness of how it all comes together. Life is an adventure, and we are a product of that which has come before and that which we have already done in the future. And that sometimes is what people can't understand because we're linear. They don't recognize that there's other elements. But this visualization I was given the other day, Tuesday morning, it was yesterday, Tuesday morning. And I got to see all the lives. And it doesn't matter if it's one life back and one life future. It doesn't matter if there's 5 lives back. But Earth itself here, remember, is an emotional planet. And we're here to learn about emotions. And I find a lot of people arrive here with high ideals or not aware of what they're coming into. This planet brings a lot of angst because it's emotional. And most of us travelers have been in places that are more mental and more in a different way. There's some beautiful spaces out there, but they're not usually planets. There's beautiful places where people create beautiful artworks and designs, and it's just heavenly. But this place isn't like that. This place is emotional. You have emotions. You make decisions on those emotions. Yeah, like this is, and other people's judgments come in. And it's time that we rose above and understood our feelings are our body's way of talking to us. Our feelings are ours, and our body will tell us how it feels about it. And then be able to deal with the feelings, the emotions, the awarenesses that are there, the acknowledgement of them, which I always say we do by just saying, I feel this, and name it. And then it dissipates. Anyway, that was my talk for today. That was, and I trust it brings some enlightenment to some of you about how come you can't seem to get out of the loopholes that you get in. And again, I go back here when it says we are a product of all our lives. And we've had many, a lot of us. Some of us have had a few, but we're still a product of them. Decisions made, oaths, vows, contracts, all goes into the big book. Some of it goes into the big book, not all of it, and to the Akashic record. But it's all changeable and it's all releasable. So I wish you a great day, and I will be back, saying it's Wednesday, back on Sunday with a Sunday thought. Until then, I want to thank you for the subscribers. I want to thank you for the comments. Sometimes I get emails, sometimes I get other comments, but even on here, when people say enjoyed it, or I appreciate that. I too totally do. It makes it all worthwhile to sit down here and have a short chat with you. So over and out. Have a great week. Enjoy.